Hello and welcome to Down and Dirty with Darci. I'm your host, Darci Smith, also known as Career Coach Darci. We are here to get down and dirty about careers, uncovering salaries, wild stories, backgrounds, and more from guests with some of the most eccentric professions each week. This podcast is presented by Onomy. Welcome back to Down and Dirty with Darci. We are starting off this episode a little bit differently. We're going to chat a little bit with Raimee here, and then we're going to get into the interview and do some career questions and horror stories that you guys have sent me in my DMs, which are hilarious. So that segment's going to be called the career column. So let's get into it.
I'm so excited. I'm usually like behind the scenes typing away, so this is going to be fun.
Up front and center.
Yeah.
Like Raimee works at Onomy. You're the head of content there.
Yes.
And she also provides a ton of amazing travel tips. I know when I posted about you on my story, everyone went and followed you. Like your tips are amazing. So nice. I actually rewatched one today because I was like, wait, how do I make sure I get the cheapest flight?
Amazing.
So Raimee. What is it at?
Raimee Travel.
Yeah. Travel? Yeah. Raimee Travel.
Yeah, okay. It has the S on TikTok because I couldn't get the same thing though.
We're drinking Juneshine. They are not a sponsor, but soon to be, because I've been on this kick about the power of words lately. So I say things, instead of using the words I can't. So like, for instance, Juneshine becoming a sponsor, right? I wouldn't say like, oh, if they will. I'm going to say when they will.
Yes.
I also say that'll never happen. I'll never say that.
We're also kind of manifesting it already. Like they are a sponsor.
It's here.
That's what isn't manifesting. You're supposed to kind of just say like, I have this.
Yeah.
We have them as a sponsor.
We have them as a sponsor. Also, I was with the I can't thing, I need to tell my friends this because they're probably going to get so annoyed of me. But if they ask me to do something, instead of saying I can't go or I can't come, I'm going to say, I choose to not attend that, or I choose to not go to that event.
I love that. Do they like when you do that? Probably not.
No, they're not going to like it. They don't like most things I do. They're like, what's your shtick this week, Darci? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm
choosing not to tell you. Yeah. I'm choosing not to tell you what it is. It's a surprise.
Oh my God. On the drive over here, I was thinking about talking to you about this because I wonder if this happens to you. So I'm driving over and I see this man, and he has like a backwards hat on, and he has a kid in a stroller, and he's like pushing the kid in the stroller. And then he has the dog, a cute dog next to him. And I'm driving, right? I shouldn't be looking at this man. I look over and I'm like, this is the hottest man I've ever seen.
LA, baby.
I know. I'm like, I'm so into him. And then I'm stopped at a stoplight. I put my hands up and I blocked out the baby and the dog.
Like, this is my future.
Yeah, I was like, but wait, is this man actually hot? That's what I mean.
You're okay. Yeah.
It's
the dad.
The power of the baby and the dog.
Yeah.
I looked at his face. Not cute.
Not cute.
No.
Wait,
it was the backwards
so
hat got
funny.
me for one.
Yeah.
And
then, immediately.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God. I was like, what is happening? I think someone told me that when like a bunch of women walk into a bar or like walk into a social setting all together, they're like super hot, but if you just like
I've
one
heard
by
that
one,
theory.
It's a theory, right?
I've always been like, oh man, let's stay together, girls. Let's stay together. We're doing this better this way.
No, see, power of words. You're so hot. I'm so hot. When I walk into a bar, everyone wants to talk to me.
Yeah, even though we both have boyfriends, but that's fine. Nobody needs to know.
Nobody needs to know.
2023, baby.
I need to stop. Speaking of 2023, are you like a goal setter?
I mean, I think that goals and, resolutions are okay to have, but not to like be too hard on yourself for them, Like you don't, you got to be realistic. And I know, have I ever kept a New Year's resolution? No.
Never?
Like I really don't, not throughout the year, maybe for like 2 months max. So this year I tried to make them, like very specific and realistic. For example, one of the things was obviously like always going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. That never happens for me.
Yeah.
So instead I just did like do a walk outside a couple times a week. I wasn't even that specific. And go to the gym at least 2 times, because that is something that I do consistently do. So I was like, okay, this is manageable.
Yeah.
So I've kept them all kind of light and realistic.
That's good.
What about you?
Yeah, I have a few. I actually went back and looked. I call them like intentions, right? So I intend to do something. And so I looked back and I actually only missed, I had 10 from last year, I think, and I only missed 2 of them.
Oh, me over here, like I never do any of them.
No, but it's because like you just said, like you were probably setting them like to like some standard.
I was like, I'm going to write a book last year. I wrote 10 pages, 10 pages, and they suck. But one day.
No, I mean, you've probably heard this a million times, but the book Atomic Habits is like, I mean, my
habit stacking.
It is my Bible.
Yeah.
And he was just on the Tim Ferriss podcast. So, I mean, rock my world, why don't you? So anyways, I think they talked for like 3 hours and I was just like eating it all up. But he was talking about how it's the actual act of doing the thing. So he's like, if you really want to meditate every single day for an hour, like that's a lot.
Yeah.
So like, why are you putting that pressure on yourself? Like, just have it be, I will meditate for 60 seconds a day.
Yes.
That's it.
I
and
love
then like,
that.
And then it's 90 seconds.
Do
and
they
then
say
it's
that in
2
Atomic
minutes.
Habits?
I don't know.
I thought I was going to read that book and I didn't.
Like that. Something like that. Yeah. But he just said it on the pod. I mean, just listen to the podcast. You'll probably get most of what you need.
Oh, I will listen to that. I will listen to that. Yeah. I really like that because, yeah, for me, it is just literally starting. So I do want to eventually write a book. I have like a fiction idea that I want to write. And so I told my therapist that she's going to hold me accountable to doing 30 minutes a week. Nice. And she asked me like, what can you commit to a week? And I was like, probably 30 minutes on Sundays. So I'm starting very, very small because in the past I'd be like, I'm going to do 30 minutes a day. It's like, no, that's not realistic. So we'll see. And I'm saying it now. So it's happening.
I have a decent tip for you. I wrote a chapter of a book that's been published.
Ooh.
Just a chapter. But it was something that was really hard for me to like sit down.
Yeah.
I ended up accidentally, I took a weed gummy.
The key.
No, I took a weed gummy and I didn't remember I took the weed gummy. But sometimes with weed, like I get like really like focused in on something.
Yeah.
And so then I sat down to write and I was like, it was just flowing out of me.
Ooh.
And then I turned to Ryan, my boyfriend, I turned to him and I was like, babe, I'm feeling like kind of sick. Like, but I also feel like I'm like in the zone. I was like, I don't know what is going on. My head kind of feels weird. I feel like a little bit high.
You forgot.
Forgot completely. And then like later that day, I was like, oh shit. But now I'm like, if I need to sit down and do something, I might just a little bit. Like you don't want to get.
Did you finish the whole chapter? In that one set?
The entire chapter. I'm like, obviously.
Wait, what is this book?
Edit. Oh.
Was it weird?
It's called Forever Athlete. No, it's
good. Forever Athlete. Are you an athlete?
Amazing. Yeah, I was a D1 athlete.
What? Why did I not know this? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I played soccer in college.
That's why you're so successful. I feel like all D1 athletes, like Alex Cooper, soccer.
Oh, true. Yeah, we do.
We're also manifesting the success of Call Her Daddy right now.
Yeah. I think the name Alex is the key.
Yeah.
Because like Alex Earl now.
Oh, you're right. Except 2 of my exes are both named Alex, so.
Oh. Well, that's okay. We'll just move right past that. But yeah, no, it's called Forever Athlete. And the reason I bring it up again is because I want to shout out. There was, I can't remember how many of us, maybe 12 to 15 or so. There was all athletes that wrote a chapter of the book. Oh. So it's basically like a collection of stories of people and like what we've done to like kind of get through and like maybe be successful. And I say maybe because like, I mean, I have so much more in my life. Like, it's hard to say, like, oh, here's what I've done to get, but it's like,
but there's like athlete mentality and stuff like that too. Yeah. Getting through. I feel like, I don't know, having the ability to like practice something every day ends up showing up for you later in life. Yeah. And I quit sports after high school, but it's somewhat there. It's somewhat there.
Okay, I have a question for you. I take all my ideas from other people. I was listening to another podcast per usual, and they did High-Low Buffalo. Have you heard of that?
No. What's the Buffalo part?
Yeah, so it's like the high is like the high of, I'm going to do it for like last year, right? So high for you for last year. It can be like one specific like experience or travel thing or whatever you did.
Ooh, okay.
And then a low. So like one thing that happened where like that was my low.
Yeah.
And then the Buffalo, I think, probably messing this up, I think it's like the theme that you took away from the whole year. Like the whole, And if it's
Buffalo.
not, like I'm just going to.
That's what it is for us.
I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I know I put you on the spot.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I would say my high, honestly, I say this all the time, but I'm not kidding. I finally feel like I'm in a career that I really love. Oh. And we started so many cool projects this year, like this podcast with you. We made a bunch of new courses with amazing creators. So my high of the year was truly working with Onomy. Thanks, Sam. And I say that, like, I never wake up hating my job, which is something I used to do in the past. So it's...
Oh, that must feel so good.
It does. It feels amazing. So I'm just, trying to make it last forever right now. But my low, I was working on this project, a travel-related project with my old boss, Nomadic Matt. We set out to make this guided travel journal, so like the 5-minute journal, but to help you record your trips. So you would take it on whatever trip you're going on, and there's like prompts, like 3 amazing things I ate today, 3 lows of the day, whatever. So you can look back on your trip and be like, oh, like I forgot that I met that one person at the bar or whatever. So we had this whole, you know, guided journal ready, and we had to order like 3,000 copies because of printing and COVID stuff. And so
you didn't have pre-orders, or you did?
We couldn't. So we did have pre-orders. People were pre-ordering it, but we had to like put in the order with the company for 3,000 journals, put in the payment, like no, whatever. So we get the journals. It was a Bible. It was this thick.
Super thick. Oh my God.
Because of it, long story,
no
whatever.
One's gonna want that. Like,
no, you can't travel with a freaking, it was, I mean, maybe we can insert a photo, but it was bad. And so it was $20,000 out the door because we ordered 3,000 journals. Luckily, none of that was my money, but it was still like something I had worked on for so many months, and it just kind of sucked. So that was not fun. Was the low. That was the low.
And then what's your buffalo?
The buffalo
theme of the year? Like, what did you feel like you took away most from last year?
Oh, okay. So I will say, I think related to work, life, relationships, my biggest theme was just keeping small promises to myself. And when you feel like you trust yourself more, I feel like everything else in your life goes well. So I think that's why I had success on like social media in the past year, why the job was going so well. I was doing, you know, small like rituals and promises to myself, and in my relationships too, which I feel like got better last year. So
nice. That's amazing.
What about you?
I should have thought about this when I was going to ask you, but no. So I guess my high for last year was moving to the Bay Area. It was a big step for us just to like make that decision and like go with it. Not to mention we did it in like 2 weeks. We did not see the place that we were.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we literally just like, we have 3 dogs, so it's so hard to find anywhere that's going to accept us.
Yeah.
So we found someone that like, luckily we like talked over and over again. We're like, we promise our dogs are trained and this and that. And so they said yes to us, and we never saw the place, and we just moved right in.
Did you do a FaceTime tour or anything?
We did a FaceTime, but the funny part is the service is bad, so we couldn't even see anything.
Yeah, it's like blurry. You're like, it looks great. We're in.
It's like up in the hills. Yeah. We're like, I mean, it was the only option we had.
Oh my gosh.
So we're like, nope, we're in. So yeah, I'm just happy, and I feel like I love change. I'm one of those people that just enjoys like different experiences. So that's definitely a high for me. A low, I don't really like to think about lows too much. I know. Because we can go down a rabbit hole. I don't know. I mean, there's things in my business. It always comes back to career for me. There's things in my business that I feel like I put these blocks or walls up. And so for me, a low would be that I kept kind of putting a wall up. I want to make this course that I am going to do this year.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to do this year. It's going to be like an all-in like career course.
Amazing.
But I just kept putting it off, and I couldn't figure out why. And so like I've been lately asking myself more questions, like why do you feel this way? Why is that happening to you? Like things like that, to really like understand why I'm putting these blocks up. And that's why I've dove so far into like the human design and like all these things now.
Did you learn why?
Yeah. Like a lot of it is if my intentions, like if I don't feel like it's right and I don't get that gut feeling of like, this is a hell yes, then I put up the wall of like, it doesn't feel, I'm not going to do it.
I remember actually Leah on the human design episode, she said something like in your chart about that.
Yeah.
So do you think that means like the project isn't right, or that's like you psyching yourself out?
She told me that I need to just like I have to wait for answers.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's happening this year.
It's happening this year. Sorry, there was a hair on my mic. It's probably my own hair. Okay. And now it's time for the career column. These are all stories that people sent me that follow me on Instagram.
Amazing.
And they sent into my DMs. So I'm going to read this one too. Oh my God. I'm going to try and get through it without like laughing. Okay. When I was working in IT, I had to collect laptops borrowed by the staff, and one of them had decided to use the work laptop for porn, as well as Googling Rihanna naked pictures.
No.
I was asked to report the web history from said laptop and give it to the principal of the school. So apparently it was IT and like an education, like.
How dumb can you be?
But like Rihanna, I would probably
I know.
Google that
I'm
too.
Googling that at home every day. But what?
Why would you do it on a work laptop?
No.
I am shook. I was like, this has to be
they're out. I always used to get paranoid about that. Like when I did work a corporate job, I would be on Skype, you know, like Skyping my other coworkers, like kind of talking shit about stuff. And I didn't realize at the time, maybe they were young and like, everything's tracked. And then I realized, if they ever look at those, I'm done.
Yeah.
So be careful out there, guys.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what is this? This is another one. Oh my God. Okay. I'm like, every time I start to, okay, this one's a little bit long, but I am an executive assistant and I was supporting a senior VP years ago. I saw him quickly walking down the hall towards me when I knew he was supposed to be in a meeting. He ran into his office and asked me to come with him and close the door behind me. He proceeded to tell me that he pooped his pants in his meeting and he needed to go home immediately. Then asked if I would walk behind him to his car so no one would see or stop him on his way out. Keeping a straight face, I cannot believe this man sharted. This was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire career.
Oh my God. Walk behind me because there's a poop stain? Like what?
I literally told this story to my boyfriend and he's like, that's the type of assistant I need. And I was like, honestly, is that your first thought?
Oh my God.
How many times are you sharting? Like,
I just want to know what the next day was like. Like looking them in the eye again. Yeah. Did the guy pretend like it never happened?
Right.
Or is it like a little inside joke
speak
now?
Of this again.
That is so bad. I love poop jokes though. So
have you ever sharted?
I mean, probably. But
they're pretty,
no, I don't. Girls
they're really
don't do
memorable.
That.
You would
maybe
know.
not. I don't do that.
That might be too intrusive of a question. And that's the end of our career column for the week. Tune in next week for some more crazy stories. And my DMs are always open. If you have some horrible boss or weird career stories, please share.
Please
share, because I am loving this. And now let's get into the interview.
Hi, welcome.
Hi. How was the drive in? Lots of traffic,
Easy.
probably?
No problem at all. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Whereabouts do you live? You live in LA, obviously.
Yeah.
But like whereabouts?
Well, I'm based in downtown LA.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of right in the city.
And you're not from here, right? Where are you from?
I grew up in Michigan originally.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the Ann Arbor area.
Yeah, same as Raimee.
Yeah, Raimee's over here.
Do you guys know each other from Michigan or from here?
So we met on a plane. We met flying back from Michigan to LA. We were sitting next to each other, and we did not talk the entire flight until we were descending. Zach looked over at me and was like, hey, sorry if this is weird, but can you take a video out the window? Because I had the window seat that he was apparently supposed to have. So he was bitter the whole flight, apparently. And I recorded a video for him, and then,
And then you stayed friends?
It was funny as I didn't know Raimee, like, does that.
Yeah,
like, her
travel
shtick is
stuff.
travel stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, we, like, found that out in the course of talking. But I was like, oh, my gosh, like, that's so funny. What a perfect person to be recording an Instagram video for me. Yeah,
that's
awesome.
funny. Well, I have a bio here for you. So just sit back and listen to what I have to say about you.
Very relaxed.
And hopefully I don't mess anything up.
Easy.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Zach Wigal, a Michigan-born, LA-based founder of Gamers Outreach Foundation, a nonprofit that helps kids cope with long-term medical treatment by providing gaming hardware and software to hospitals. That's so cool, by the way. I can't wait to talk more about that.
Thanks.
And he's the recent founder of Detroit Pizzas, a new pizza company founded by 3 dudes from Michigan on a mission to share Detroit-style pizza with the world.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Big West.
Are we are, in fact, ordering that, or are we not?
We open at 4 p.m. today.
4 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
On
Okay.
Fridays, today's Friday, right? Yeah.
Well, we'll get it
Fridays
soon.
are open 4 p.m. to 2 a.m.
I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, it's super good.
How long has it been open?
We just opened September 1st.
Oh, nice.
Pretty new.
How's
Yeah.
it going?
So far, so good. Yeah, we're still open, so that's step one.
He
right?
was being modest. They sell out like every day.
We've had some sellouts. Yeah. It's been good.
I was doing my research this morning and I saw that you guys are featured on Postmates.
That just
That's
happened.
a big
last
deal.
night. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Do they do that based on because you don't get to pick that, right?
I don't think so. No.
Like, it's not like you submitted.
It happened randomly.
Okay, that's because
yeah.
like with normal ads, you pay for that spot, but you didn't like pay for that spot.
No, we haven't paid for anything like within the apps.
Yeah.
Outside of like basic like buy one get one promotions or something.
Right.
And we just earned the Top Eats badge for the first time. So that's
What?
like you get this little like medal next to your
the little.
profile.
I know. I do a lot of Uber eating.
Really? Okay, perfect. Yeah, same. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we we're pretty excited about it. People are loving it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, to start from the beginning. So you're from Michigan, you moved out to LA. Why? Like, give us,
Yeah, so I grew up in the Midwest and developed an interest in the video game industry from a pretty early age.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, like my dad was a computer science major. He actually used to help build Indy cars, and he would like engineer parts that would go into these race cars. And so
cool.
growing up, we always had like computer stuff around the house, and he would play video games, and that got me and my younger brother into video games. And fast forward, when I was in high school, I developed an interest in video game tournaments and started organizing competitions among friends at school.
What's your favorite game? Sorry, I have to interrupt.
It's funny. It's anytime I feel like you ask like a hardcore gamer that question, like there's a list that pops up. I always answer Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy X specifically.
Final
Fantasy. Yeah. 7 Remake came out. Did you play 7 Remake?
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's so good.
I'm gonna step outside.
Yeah, I play a lot of StarCraft these days too. So I've been playing that for years. Mainly a PC gamer. But I have like all the consoles. Xbox is like also a go-to. And so I started organizing these video game tournaments when I was a youngster. I actually was like a top-ranked Mortal Kombat player for a period of time.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, who do you use?
Well, I played Raiden.
That's my dog's name.
Your dog's name is Raiden?
Yeah, after
actually?
Mortal Kombat.
No way.
Yes.
Wow, that's so funny.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my favorite character. So yeah, it's my
Well,
name.
you clearly have good taste. Because, he was. That's awesome. Yeah, we I had like mono one summer and. I wasn't like super sick or anything. I was stuck inside basically, and I missed a bunch of sports practice, and I I'm like really good at Mortal Kombat. I had this journal. I'd like memorized all of the character combinations.
Wow.
And, like, I can still recite like square, back, X, like I still remember like some of the moves for Raiden, and I ended up getting into like the top 40. Like I was like ranked among the top 40 players at like 30,000 some people online on like PlayStation.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so I was just playing this game all day, and that like led to me wanting to compete in video game tournaments. I started organizing these events for friends, and sort of discovered on accident my local children's hospital was having a hard time providing kids with activities. Mm-hmm. And as someone who grew up playing video games, it just seemed obvious to me, like, well, if we're looking to give the kids things to do, why don't we give them video games?
Yeah.
And
wow.
So just naively kind of just started donating video game devices to Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah. This is like kind of I want to just like keep people following. This is the start to Gamers Outreach Foundation.
Yeah. So this is kind of like the origin story of Gamers Outreach. Yeah. So at the time, like I had a pretty strong feeling I wanted to work in the video game industry. I didn't know exactly what that was at the time. But I was organizing video game tournaments. I was gifting video game devices to my local hospital. All seemed cool. And marketing agencies started reaching out to me, asking me to help them organize like professional level events that they were producing. So this is back in like 2007, 2008. And nowadays the word esports is like thrown around a lot.
Right.
And so this is like before even that phrase existed really. They were like just competitive video game tournaments. So I started flying out to Los Angeles quite a bit. And like an agency would hire me to help like produce an event around like the new Call of Duty video game. And so
how old were you when you
I was like I started when I was like 17 or 18.
What?
But it just so happened.
Talk about an organic growth of like your career. Like that is like you're doing the thing that you love to do, and then it just like organically grows into a job.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Yeah. I mean, there's fast forward 16 years, there's a lot in between, but yeah, initially these were just sort of contract gigs. Like, hey, we need someone who knows how to organize a tournament, and would you like to come and help us manage the players and the process of getting everybody in the right place and just helping us make sure things flow in a way that there's competitive integrity to this event. Mm-hmm. And so I got flown. Like one of the very first events I worked was it was called Call of Duty XP. It happened here in Los Angeles, over in Marina del Rey. I can't remember the building's name, but it's where Google is now based.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was this massive, like, $1 million Call of Duty tournament. Like, giant airport hangar was rented. 900 Xbox consoles. Kanye West came in and did a concert. Dropkick Murphys did a concert. Whoa. Yeah, and so I was responsible for like managing the players. And so my job was to basically make sure it's like sort of like a low-ranked job, but to the organizers, it's like the players. This is why we're doing
huge.
it.
Yeah.
We need to make sure they know what they're doing, and we want someone who has familiarity with this world. And so my job was to kind of like usher the players around and whatnot. And it's funny because from that one event, a lot of careers sort of emerged in the gaming industry. Like if you're familiar with 100 Thieves or Nade Shot or Optic Gaming, a lot like
you might need to talk to Raimee about those. I'm like, I don't know.
Your younger brother, right?
I do,
is like a fan.
My brother used to play in those tournaments actually for Call of Duty, and he like ranked in the top 30. And so I would go to those tournaments with him. So I was very familiar with that. But also, I just want to say for like people's parents who are like, don't play video games, like there could be a career in that field, and
especially now,
and just the point about that one event led to so much else for you in your career, I think is important to note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think of video games really as a gateway to computer science, coding, content creation,
Right.
Marketing, really
imagination, like
100%.
So much creativity there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on Raimee's note, I really feel if parents are able to engage with their kids and understand the games they're playing and encourage those interests, there are really so many pathways that can emerge from that.
Yeah.
And that's true of a lot of folks I know, both in like more the tech world and the gaming world, both. Like I have a lot of friends that are tech founders. It's like they built a software product, but their interest in coding emerged from playing video games back in the day.
Right.
You know?
My brother was a gamer, and it was definitely shunned on, like, you know, my dad would turn off the power to the entire house to like try and get him to stop playing.
Oh boy.
And one time, hopefully, I don't know if they're listening to this, Mom, but one time my brother was playing like so much that, I mean, there was a constant fight in my house, right? I'd like sleep with a pillow because they'd be like yelling at each other about the gaming. My brother would play in his room, and my mom was like asleep on the couch, and so he knew that she had to go through the hallway to get back to her bedroom. He left the door to the closet hallway open, so she ran into the door, and that he knew she was awake, so then he like ran into bed.
That's so
like
funny.
He was like so insane about it. I was like, I love you for that. But now he's a surgeon, so you know.
Perfect. See, it worked out.
It worked out. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I think a lot of video game enthusiasts have all those sorts of stories,
right?
You know, and it's just fascinating. You know, the gaming industry has changed so much over the last 15 or 16 years. Like the platforms have evolved a ton. The games and the things people can do in these games has really tremendously changed. And so, yeah, that long-winded answer to your question of like, why are you in Los Angeles? I ended up starting. I had like a really early, entry point into the gaming industry at a young age, and just was coming out to LA so frequently. And then eventually, when Gamers Outreach, which is now basically my full-time job, outside from pizza, but pizza's kind of passion project. Gamers Outreach is like my identity thing, if you were to ask. It just made sense to like move out to Los Angeles and be here. So yeah, I moved to LA in 2016 full time.
Nice.
And then, I've been loving it, traveling here ever since. Yeah.
When you meet people and they ask you, oh, what do you do for work? Like, what do you say?
Well, usually I'll say I'm the founder of Gamers Outreach. We help bring video games to kids in hospitals.
Okay. Yeah.
So I try to frame it in a way where I describe like our work as, we're trying to help make the hospital more fun. There are a lot of people who find themselves in the hospital, and research and treatment are the priority when you're there. But because of that, quality of life sometimes takes a back seat. And it's not, at the fault of the doctors or nurses working. It's just they have a lot of things to prioritize. And so sometimes it can be difficult to manage all these devices and games that kids want to play. And so that's where we come in. We go into hospitals. We provide them with video game content and video game devices that help provide people with activities.
That's amazing.
So we're most known for building like these video game carts, and there are these little kiosks, we call them Go Karts, Gamers Outreach Cart.
I see.
I know, right? And they're tools that help hospital staff make sure games are accessible in hospitals. So if you've had a big surgery and you're stuck in bed for a long time, healthcare staff can wheel us to your bedside, and kids can play games and
that is so cool.
And, have fun.
Well, thank you for doing. Like, I'm just like thank you so much. That's so cool. I'm like so excited. I already looked at the website and I noticed that I could like donate, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you tell everyone else like where to go?
Yeah, I'd say check us out on gamersoutreach.org. You can donate, make a contribution. So fast forward, we started at Mott Children's Hospital. Now we're in, I think, right around 400 healthcare facilities.
Wow. I was going to ask that. How many?
Yeah, primarily in North America. We have a small international presence.
Yeah. I saw some dots in Canada.
Yep. We're actually, we just announced we made it to every Canadian province, which is exciting.
Amazing.
Yeah. So step one, right?
How many people work at the company?
We're about 15 people now.
Okay.
Yeah. So our crew is like, we're not a huge team per se, but we provide a lot of ongoing support to hospitals, once devices have been put in.
Did you have to learn a lot about creating a nonprofit and like how that even works? Because I know people I have talked to, because I'm a career coach. I don't know if you know like what I do on a day-to-day, but I talk to people about their careers and stuff, and I have people come to me saying like they're so passionate about like wanting to start a nonprofit, even if it's like on the side or whatnot. And I don't know enough about it. Like I know there's a lot of filings and things you have to do. What was that process like for you? And like when you decided, hey, I'm gonna make this a thing, like when was that switch and how did that work?
Yeah, well, that's a big question. So nonprofits are, forces for public good is the idea. And they exist to help foster, there are all sorts of nonprofits. You have symphonies, healthcare facilities, colleges, church groups, video game organizations like ours. Starting a nonprofit, there's sort of like a legal side to it, which is honestly, I think the easiest thing is to find a lawyer that specializes in that sort of thing.
That's great advice.
Yeah, have them walk you through it. I remember going to, do you remember Borders?
Oh yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, back in Ann Arbor.
In
Sorry.
Now it's Barnes and Noble.
Did they get bought out by Barnes and Noble?
Well, no, but like that's the only place to get books.
Yeah. There used to be this place called Borders. It's like from our hometown.
And wait, was that not a thing everywhere?
I've never heard of it.
You know what Borders is?
No.
It's like Detroit style pizza not being a thing.
I thought you guys were talking about a bar.
Maybe.
I was like, where are we going?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was a bookstore.
Yeah, anyway, random anecdote. But I went to this bookstore and I remember sitting down with like the nonprofit kit for dummies and like just reading through like, okay, where do I get started? So I think really at the end of the day, if you're someone who is really passionate about a particular cause, a great way to start is just organically, trying to see if your idea has traction. When we were starting Gamers Outreach, it wasn't super formal initially. I was just on a grassroots level organizing video game tournaments. And I think there's a certain point where, once you start having some traction or you, can see that there's like interest or need for what you're doing, then it might make sense to, find a lawyer and paper up a little bit.
Right.
It can be a little expensive to do that. If you're, you might have to be out of pocket initially to like find a lawyer to help with that. But I think there's even rules. It's been a long time since I've actually read this, but I'm pretty sure there are like some rules around if you accept donations, you have like a period of time to like get your paperwork in order, and those can be recognized with credibility. So anyway, let's say I think someone should ask a lawyer if they're interested in like really starting a nonprofit. Also too, it's worth like trying to get involved in one first, I think.
Yeah, do that first. That makes sense.
In our case, with Gamers Outreach, there were actually a couple other video game nonprofits that existed at the time. It just so happened they weren't active in my local community. And so I was really particular about supporting Mott Children's Hospital in Michigan. And because they didn't have any sort of services there, I thought, well, I guess we'll go ahead and just do this on our own.
Yeah.
And I think one piece of advice I'd give too, and this is something that I think will affect like the psychology of a founder at some point, we live in an and world, not an or world. I think it's very easy for people to say, X thing exists already. There's no need for me to do it. Well, actually, there might be a need for you to do it because X thing can only support so many people. Even in the context of pizza, right? Like there are our one kitchen. I know we'll talk about pizza probably at some point, but our one kitchen reaches somewhere around 1 million people in Los Angeles, right? There's no way we cannot make 1 million pizzas a day, right? If everyone wanted to order pizza the same day, we don't have the ovens to make that many pizzas for the people. Right. It's not possible. So that means you need to have a lot of pizza places in the area to support all those people who might want pizza. Yeah. And I think that's just a simple analogy to explain, you're a nonprofit. There might be other groups trying to provide the world with clean drinking water, trying to help save animals, trying to help bring games to hospitals. Great. The whole goal is to solve these problems. And your approach might be slightly different and unique. And there might be people who resonate with your style of doing things, that'll be meaningful. So
there's always space for more. Like,
for sure.
Always.
We definitely live. Yeah. That was a great piece of advice someone gave me once. Like we live in an and world, not an or world. Yeah. So I think that's, it's good to get involved in a cause, maybe to initially explore like, okay, am I really interested in this? Like my measuring stick is whether or not an idea has left my head. Like the pizza thing, I was camping on that probably too long, like for a few years before I was like, all right,
yeah,
we need to make this pizza stuff.
I'll say let's get into this. So what was the push for you to now like you own a pizza joint? I had to say joint.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's a pizza joint. Yeah. So I moved to Los Angeles, right? And probably the first couple of years of living here, I was like just getting a lay of the land, trying to find, what's the cool bar I want to go to, favorite restaurants. And I was trying to find a pizza place that landed with me, right? So I was like ordering from different pizza places, trying things out. And I was really surprised to find, I was having trouble finding a pizza place that made this particular style pizza. It's called Detroit style pizza.
Yeah. Can you explain what Detroit style means?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
So the legend goes, back in the late 40s, there were these guys who would hang out at this bar called Buddy's in Detroit.
Buddy's is so good. If you ever go to Detroit, you have to get Buddy's pizza. It's, the original Detroit style. Although I haven't had Zach's pizza yet, so maybe it's better.
I know, we need to fix it. No, I mean, Buddy's is definitely like they're the authority on Detroit. I mean, they're like the founder, so we all like pay our respects to Buddy's, you know?
Yeah.
If someone was like, are you guys better than Buddy's? I'm like, well, we make a pretty good Detroit pizza. But I would never
never say that.
Yeah, we would never be that sacrilegious. So this place called Buddy's in Detroit, there were these guys who would hang out at the bar. And legend goes, they had gotten back from World War II, and they were trying to recreate focaccia bread that they had discovered in Italy. But there was a problem in that nobody had any square-shaped pans to make the bread the right shape. So one of the guys worked at the auto factory nearby and said, I'll grab my oil pan and we'll use that. And so he cleans out his oil pan. They take the dough, they put it in. And because of the shape of the pan, when they put it in the oven, an oil pan kind of has like that ridge to it, that straight edge. So when they pulled this oil pan out of the oven, all the cheese had bled into the edges of the crust and created this like caramelized edge.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
And it's, I look at pizza pictures now every day, and I've never known the meaning of temptation until I started this pizza company.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my gosh, it's great. So that's where Detroit style pizza came from. This place, these guys kind of made it on accident, and we're like, wow, this is really good. We should add it to the menu. And that's how Buddy's Pizza was born.
Oh.
And then I think there were some people who like worked at Buddy's that then went and kind of started their own places. But nowadays, like, you had Jets where you grew up, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
in your
Jets also an iconic. But I bet you yours is better than Jets. But it's very good.
Well,
it's thick.
Yeah, it's like, so Detroit style pizza, that's where it came from. The distinguishing characteristic is that the edges, it's a bit thicker than like a flat New York style pizza.
Okay.
So if you think like there's like Chicago deep dish, which is like
super
thick.
thick.
If you make like a range of pizza options, Detroit or Chicago style is kind of like almost like pizza as lasagna.
Yeah.
Like you need a fork and knife to eat it. There's a lot going on there. If you kind of just pick it up, it's going to, drip everywhere. Then you have New York style on the other side, which is like really thin, or maybe even like tavern style, where it's like even thinner crust.
That's my vice.
Or tavern person. I dig it. Detroit style is kind of like right in the middle. It's like almost got the thickness of a brownie, but in pizza form. And so the middle section, like if you were to cut a Detroit style corner, the corners are like really crispy and are probably like maybe an inch thick high if you were like set it down. Really flavorful because all the like cheese and like
everywhere.
It all just bleeds into the crust.
So you don't really get that, like the people that don't eat the crust, they probably eat Detroit style crust.
Detroit style crust is the payoff. Yeah, it's like you're like working towards the crust.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really flavorful. So there's no crust left over in Detroit style. In fact, that's like part of the marketing shtick of Detroit style pizza is a lot of pizza places that make the style, they'll call their pizzas like a 4-corner or an 8-corner. And the idea is like everyone wants a corner slice because that's when you get the most like crust real estate basically, to eat with. So that's the main characteristic. It's a bit thicker, it's heartier, but it's fluffy. It's you eat Detroit style pizza and you think like, wow, this is like a really big piece of pizza.
You like only need one piece, I feel like.
Yeah.
You will be full and like satisfied after one piece.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, totally.
I
Sign me up, right? That's actually one of our, so being here in Los Angeles, I was surprised to find out a lot of people on the West Coast had never even seen Detroit style pizza before.
Yeah.
Like the same explanation I'm giving you right now is like, I would talk to neighbors like, I'm trying to find a place I would show them on my phone, trying to find pizza that looks like this. What is that? Is that a casserole? Like, no, this is pizza, guys. And then I realized, oh my God, people don't even know.
And that's why you started it. Because
That's why
you're like, I need to bring it to LA. People don't know what they're missing.
They need to have this.
People have been missing out their whole lives. We're called Detroit Pizza Depot.
Detroit Pizza Depot.
And then we're at Detroit Pizzas on all the social medias.
Perfect.
Instagram,
guys, just
Twitter.
look at some photos. We'll insert photos for like the video version of this, but
yum.
It's so good.
So I recruited a couple of friends from high school. And so I started making it in my apartment. And then friends would see me on Instagram. They're like, dude, this is like, can I come over? But no, really, can I come over and have some? And it got like frequent enough that I was like, okay, I should do like a pop-up, maybe like a party or something. And that's where I just went down the rabbit hole. I was like, okay, what if I rented a kitchen? And then I started doing like the economic stuff. I was like, there's like plenty of pizza places around. They must make some money in order to exist. So maybe this would be worth doing. But I'm super committed to like video game land. And so I'm not really, I mean, I can make you a pizza, but I'm not really like the best person. I don't have familiarity with like kitchen operations, et cetera. So a friend of mine had started a food truck in our hometown making Detroit style pizza. And I reached out to him, convinced him, I was like, listen, man, pack up your truck. you got to move to Los Angeles. Yeah, you're coming to LA. And so I helped we rounded up some investment funding, got us some people on board, and he packed up his bags and moved to LA. So
that is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congrats on that. It's amazing.
Thanks.
I also want to ask you, so being a founder, I'm assuming you have conducted interviews or no?
For like with employees?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. What's your favorite interview question to ask, or do you have one?
I don't really have one.
No.
Yeah.
Do you it's more like a conversation?
Yeah. In the position that I'm in, so at this point, a lot of our early hires, so first off, I guess I cheated in some ways. A lot of our early hires for Gamers Outreach were pre-existing volunteers. So they're people I knew already. They had been involved with the organization. And in recent time when we've hired people, I'm more of like the vibe check guy. Like,
yeah, there's always a vibe check guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of just curious to know, like, who is this person? Like, are they more of a cultural fit? I'm curious, like, what do they like to do? What are their interests? How do they just interact? Right. You know, like in conversation.
Yeah. That's an important tip, honestly. I feel like sometimes you get so tripped up on, I don't know, the statistics you're supposed to bring or like the specificity, but make sure you have a good vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think culture is super important, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially in the context of Gamers Outreach, our goal is to restore a sense of joy and normalcy in hospitals, and our work, hopefully each day, is joyful. The way I describe our work, I feel every day I wake up and it's like I'm playing my favorite MMO. Like it's like vlogging into World of Warcraft. We're making a little more progress each day.
What's an MMO?
Massive multiplayer online game. So yeah, sorry, this is a nerdy reference here, but if
keep it going.
So like World of Warcraft is like a really popular example of this.
Yeah.
Usually you have a character in the game. It's sort of like an indefinite gaming experience. You log in and each day you're part of this kind of like active world that's never turning off. So some games, like, you can build houses, you can like go and do quests, you like form factions, and you're like, in battles with people. It's like a whole, like, there's different types of MMOs and games that exist. So but an MMO, it's like you can invest like infinite amounts of time into it in theory. So you log in each day, and that's the analogy I was kind of giving. It feels like we have this sort of big mission we're focused on, and I hope that our work is, it's a joy to come to work each day and be able to, be of support to people, hopefully. And so I'm looking for people that want to share in that sentiment mostly.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I focus on at the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Also, quick change of pace here, but I did see you brought in something when you walked in.
Oh, yeah.
What did you bring?
This is sort of random, but so I guess, do you guys talk about travel on this podcast?
Well, Raimee is do you call yourself a travel blogger? What do you say?
I say travel creator. I don't have a blog, so I don't
travel
know.
Creator.
Yeah.
So she's like the travel.
But we mention it here and there. We talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, so I feel like you're being modest now, because don't you have like 100,000 plus?
Yeah. Something like that.
You have like 6 figures of TikTok followers? Okay. So everyone should go follow Raimee for one.
And Darci.
And Darci, for your favorite travel tips. So, okay, this will seem random, but I years ago, a Delta pilot gave me, I have to brag.
Here, I can hold it.
Okay, will you hold this for me? Okay.
Oh, I'm not going to be in the frame.
Well, you can put you in the frame.
But whatever.
Okay. So this is a special.
For the podcast listeners, not watchers, this is on YouTube, but if you're listening, it's a picture of a Delta aircraft 737.
747.
747. I know my planes.
It's good. No, it's okay. They're not. They don't make them anymore.
I know, the double deckers.
Right? Yeah. So Raimee and I met on a Delta flight, right? We talked about that earlier, and I saw that she was like trying to aim for diamond status this year. So I thought this could be a good contribution to her vision board. This is actually from a Delta pilot. Someone gave this to me, and I don't have anywhere to hang it in my office. So I was like, maybe Raimee will appreciate this.
That is amazing.
Why did they give it to you?
I can't. They just know I'm a big Delta fanboy. I hit like million miler status with Delta.
I know. I was always so
million.
Jealous. Yeah. So he has like platinum, like diamond. I don't know. Diamond. Sorry.
Diamond. That's the number one. I made silver, and I was texting Raimee about it. I feel so not cool.
Okay, but good. I am like the reason I have gold is because it was gifted to me.
Oh.
So I'm not even a real. I'm a faker.
I see.
Yeah, you're kind of cheating, actually. I lost a little bit of respect for you.
I got a free upgrade on my flight out here, and I was like, I am superior to all people.
Right.
Only to comfort class.
Yeah, your ego gets the inflate. No, there was a point in time I was on a plane every 3 days.
Wow.
See, I had a fear of flying last year, so I literally went on 2 flights. So that's why I'm not.
The travel creator has a fear of flying.
I just got over it recently, so.
This is also part of your.
And this will help me visualize.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Very peaceful.
Thanks for bringing that in. That was so nice. That's cool. And you have to use that as your vision board now. We were talking about manifesting
100%.
earlier, so this is perfect. You got to put all your miles on there. It's going to be in the background
of my TikTok videos now. So.
Yeah. Perfect.
We have another thing for you too. I know you're probably all pizzaed out, maybe.
I've had a lot of pizza.
Are you not into?
I'm trying to diet at the moment.
Okay.
he's got a big commercial.
I'm a week and a half deep,
but you
guys.
Know
don't
what?
ruin it for me.
I don't. So I'm gonna eat some pizza, and you're gonna tell me why. And Darci, you're gonna eat some pizza?
Yeah. So I have been cheese dairy free for the last 8 months, but I'm gonna break that just to try some
really?
pizza.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
and so now you're gonna sit here not even having any.
Wow.
Now I'm guilt tripping you. Is what I'm trying to do.
Now I feel like I have to participate.
Yes.
You also could just have one bite.
But I'm not going to. I'll go ahead and comment on your.
We're just doing one bite.
But just comment on why this is not as good as.
Okay. Well, first off,
pizza.
Papa John's is
problematic.
There's a lot to.
Do we need to unpack that?
No, I actually it's just a personal preference. Every time I eat Papa John's, it kind of upsets my stomach. To be honest, so.
Wait, you like Domino's though, right?
I think Domino's is all right.
They're from Ann Arbor.
Yeah, Domino's Farm. So fun fact. So this is the thing. Michigan is actually a really strong pizza state.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize. I'm like, I gotta hype us up. So, and I feel like I mentioned Jets earlier because I meant to say like growing up, if you were to say, oh, let's order Jets or Buddies, it was just implied, oh, we're going to order this like square shaped pizza.
Yeah. You wouldn't even think it was Detroit style pizza. When I heard people say, oh, Detroit style, I was like, huh? Like that's a thing. I didn't know because I thought that was just like normal, like Jets or Buddies. I didn't think it was a style.
I think there's been like if you were to pay attention to like various food blogs the last few years, there's been this like collective awakening, I think, of people who grew up in Michigan, have since moved away and are all sort of realizing, oh my gosh, this pizza is like regional.
Yeah.
Who none of us knew though. And so Domino's was actually founded in Michigan. They have in Ann Arbor, they have this place called Domino's Farms. It's literally a giant farm. There's some buffalo hanging out.
Nice.
And,
the buffalo.
Yeah, remember the buffalo?
Buffalo. Darci and I were talking about buffaloes earlier.
So it's coming back. Yeah.
So we we ordered Domino's and Papa John's. And so we're going to see which ones.
Yeah, we're going to taste test which one we like
But
best.
Sam, are you giving to us blind so we don't know which one's which? Do I need to close my eyes?
I should probably close my eyes because I know what Domino's looks like.
Feels like, yeah. So Sam is going to feed me. Get me out of here. Sam's going to let me take one bite of a piece of pizza and then give me the other one. And then I'm going to taste that one. And then I have to guess which one's which between Papa John's and Domino's. And Raimee and I will do it. And are we going to convince you, Zach? Just take one bite?
No, don't peer pressure.
No peer pressure. Sorry.
Because once you start,
I know that's really why I have like such little self-control around food, and so like if I like can get a clean streak going, I'm like don't break it. Don't break it.
Oh yeah, this is another thing. Zach has really good restaurant recommendations.
I do. I've got a list.
So
can we show notes that?
We'll put them in the show notes.
Okay.
For anyone in LA, we will put Zach's recs.
Eyes closed.
While we're doing that, shout out to OTM in downtown LA.
Yes.
Yeah, you can keep talking if you want.
Restaurant place. Okay, so Domino's Pizza. Honestly, I think Domino's Pizza gets they make a great product, I think, actually. Like their pan pizza is pretty decent. You still got a few minutes. It's okay. We're getting ready here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Pizza's coming over.
Is it coming?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Stand by.
I can't.
It's like
I'm nervous. Okay.
My eyes are closed.
Raimee, are we going to eat at the same time?
Sure.
Okay.
I can't.
Tell me what. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. No, it's really big bite.
Okay, I'm waiting for my second bite.
Man.
So this is not Detroit style pizza, just to clarify.
Yeah. This makes 0 sense why we're doing this, but we're doing it anyway.
But Zach's restaurant doesn't open till 4, so it's fine.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't.
It's okay. I really wanted pizza, so.
Yeah. But I cannot wait to order from Zach. Maybe I'll order that tonight after I get real drunk.
These are from different places. I'm so sorry they taste the same.
Wait, hold on. Oh, God. Okay.
What? Did you just give me 2 Domino's? Oh, my God.
Oh, they taste different, but oh, my God. One of them's so much better to me. Okay.
This one's Domino's.
To me,
This one. Second one.
To me, the first one tastes way, way better. I just don't know which one's which. Hold on.
Second one is Domino's, and I like it better.
No way, Raimee. No way.
Why are my eyes still closed?
S my D. There's no way. No way. You like the second one better?
Yeah.
That's
Am I wrong?
A bold-faced lie. The first one's so much better.
Zach's like, what?
I think for some reason, I think the first one's Domino's. No, I'm just eating.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I think the first one's Domino's, and I think it's better.
The reveal.
Okay.
Get in the frame, if you
Am I
can.
in the frame?
No.
Jeff?
Your hand's in the frame.
There you go, right there.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
This is my debut. The first one was Papa John's, and the second one
I know my
was Domino's.
Oh, thank God, because I always order Papa John's because I thought I didn't like Domino's. Thank God.
No, see,
'Cause,
I like
yeah,
Domino's
Papa
more.
John's is so much better.
So funny.
You guys, okay, have you guys watched the Tim and something show where they go, oh, we want Papa John's, Papa John's,
No.
oh, really?
No.
Yeah, Tim and Eric, yeah. Grab your pizza, go left to right, left, right. Take a
know.
slice, now have a bite, bite.
That's
bite.
your new ad campaign for Detroit style pizza right there.
We gotta, we gotta remix this.
I'll send you guys it on YouTube. It's really funny.
Linked in the show notes as well.
That smells so good though.
Woo!
I feel so bad.
I'm
No,
so
just like-
tempted. No, you have to understand
it's actually
though.
not
Like
that good though
we,
compared to yours.
Yeah.
that's true. I'll agree with that. We like. Well, first off, I appreciate all pizza. Secondly, we like so we opened September 1st. I have never ate so much pizza in my life than I did when we were like getting the kitchen ready the first couple months. And then plus, as Raimee alluded to and is aware of, I love going out to eat. That's like my big vice in life. I was like going to a restaurant every single night on top of like eating pizza. So I was like,
You're like, I gotta
New
stop.
Year's, I need
Yeah.
I need to like cleanse. It's not the pizza. The pizza is great. It's just totally, I'm like, I gotta get into a routine here. This is taking one of my
In his
life.
New Year era. So.
Yes, New Year.
I
era,
would
guys.
love
Stay
to
strong to your
see-
resolutions.
Yeah, I have been watching all those like people are doing like their dating wrapped or their like where I spent my money wrapped
Yep.
on TikTok. Someone just did theirs on like eating out, like how much money she spent on eating out for the year.
spooky.
I would love to see yours. I feel like it was probably so
It's a
bad
lot.
last year.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, maybe we'll take that offline, but that's
yeah,
funny.
it's not for the podcast, but it's
Hers was like $9,000, and maybe I'm crazy, but I
Rookie
was like,
numbers.
that's nothing.
Okay, I
Yeah,
would
rookie
say,
numbers.
I'm gonna out my old boss. His was like over 50 grand last year eating out.
Whoa.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
just personally.
Yes.
I guess that's a lot.
Wow. That is a
Sorry,
lot.
Matt.
That's a lot.
Well, but he's in Matt's defense, like he's a travel blogger, right?
Yeah, he has
so
to.
yeah,
so
it's
it's a
like,
business expense.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
and he's
for
like
work.
he's literally like on the road most of the year, right? So okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't?
Um,
That's also a really great interview question.
yeah.
Is there anything I
Is there
shouldn't have
anything we wanna
asked that I
talk about?
didn't? Yeah.
Wow, you caught me off guard.
Sorry. What's your favorite pizza that's not from your restaurant?
I really like Michigan and Trumbull, which it's a unique joint in Detroit. I actually think they make a really strong Detroit style pizza. If you like
Wow.
savory pizza, or like if your sort of taste preferences lean more towards savory, this place in Detroit, it's kind of hard to find. It's tucked away in an alley, but they do a phenomenal job.
Anything in an alley
Right.
is probably for me.
We're in an alley, funny enough, at the moment. Yeah. We have a really small kitchen. We're just like a small operation, and we're primarily like plugged into like delivery and pickup. at the
Okay.
moment.
Cool.
Our kitchen facility kind of looks like a big drive-through.
Do you deliver everywhere in LA or is it only certain areas?
Right now, kind of like we have like a radius around USC's campus. So then, depending on traffic, like if Postmates can reach you that day,
Got it.
possibly.
Shit.
We're gonna open a second kitchen though, hopefully this year. Knock on wood.
South
in
Bay?
Culver City.
Yeah.
Is
That's
that-
closer.
Is that closer?
Okay.
Yeah. You might be in the range there.
Yeah, my
That's
friend, I
Culver City's
stay
the
in
plan.
Hermosa when
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
here. So it doesn't look like I'll be ordering it tonight, unfortunately, but soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, what time is it now? It's probably we open at 4, so you could
yeah,
actually
in
drive
20
through.
minutes.
Should we do some more pieces?
Perfect. Yeah.
Cool.
You could stop by and pick some up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm trying. Like, yeah. Is there anywhere people give us the handles again?
So personally, I'm at Zach Wigal,
Mm-hmm.
ZachWigal.
He's verified, so you'll find
I
it.
He
did
is.
get-
He's
I
got
did
that
get
blue check
status.
mark.
I know.
I looked you up today. I was like, bitch.
I know.
Cool.
I had to like sell my soul, sacrifice a couple
Give me that
goats,
contact. Zach.
Yeah.
drink some snake venom, but at least I'll die with blue check clout. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. That's-
Everywhere. Do you have it on all your platforms? Just Instagram.
I'm verified on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
it.
I know. When I got it on Twitter, I was really excited to be honest, because like especially like so much gaming activity happens on Twitter, and I was like, at last,
Yeah, that's like your. Yeah,
you know,
that's your.
at last I like have achieved something. But honestly, at this point, I'd be like, whatever, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
And then Gamers Outreach is the handle.
Yes, more importantly, Gamers Outreach. We're trying to help make entertainment accessible in hospitals. We're at Gamers Outreach across all platforms. And then Detroit Pizzas is at Detroit Pizzas with an S. And
Easy.
if you want to follow, if you want to see pizza pictures every day. That's pretty much what we post.
Cool.
So,
And they look great. Yeah, I already was like creeping them today.
I'm excited to hear. Yeah, I want to hear your take. When you try it.
Yeah.
Have you had Detroit style pizza before?
I have, because in Bend, Oregon, they have a huge food truck community. So I have a place up in Bend, so I go there often, and they really were pushing this like food truck that's Detroit style. And I usually like wouldn't get pizza from I just wouldn't, because there's so many other food trucks, right, to get a little bit more creative. And I was like, I have to try it, whatever. And it was amazing. Like, I love a burnt cheese. Like in college, I used to take Ruffles and put them on a plate and then put like just cheddar cheese on top and put it in the microwave so they would like burn onto the chips.
Oh, that's so funny. I've never heard of that before, actually.
Oh my God, it's so
like
good.
Cheesy Ruffles?
Yes, and it's so salty and like, oh, it's so good.
Would it be like nachos almost?
Yeah, but they're just like,
what
way worse.
Cheesy Ruffles.
I don't know, but it
So
sounds
good, but
pretty
they would do that, like, the burnt charred like cheesiness onto the ruffle.
Totally.
So that's how I picture like the Detroit style like crust.
Yeah, this is right up your alley then.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
and in the alley.
Yes, literally. Yeah, we got to make this happen. Yeah.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
so we'll wrap on that. Thank you again so much for coming on the
thanks for
Down and
having me.
Dirty podcast. If you didn't know the name of it, that's the
Oh,
name.
good. Yeah, I'm glad we got Down and Dirty here.
Down and
Talking
Dirty
about
and
video
pizza.
games. Yep. Good stuff.
Thanks. All right.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.